Okay, welcome to the live stream today, ladies and gentlemen. And I gotta say, I wouldn't be surprised at all if, even by the time we're finished with this stream, we're starting to see a lot of chaos and chaotic scenes in France, Paris in particular. So we'll just cover the breaking news first, and this has just happened in the last couple of hours here. It is, to say it's shocking would be an understatement. I mean, we use that word a lot here, but this even shocked me. When I saw that, I said, no, they must have got this wrong. And I started looking at other news outlets because I thought someone's just trolling or they're saying this, it can't be true. What I'm going to tell you today is absolutely true. I'm amazed by it myself. So the breaking news is then, we all know Marine Le Pen, she's front and center to be the next leader of France. And what has happened today, and I'm gonna go into this a little deeper than what you're seeing on the news. So all over the news right now is that she's been banned from running in the presidential race in 2027. Well, there's a lot more to it than that. Not only that, she's also received 5-year prison sentence. Is it 4 years or 5 years? I think it's 4-year prison sentence. And I said, hold on, what's going on here? This doesn't make any sense. So we started to look into this, and it says that she's been sentenced to 4 years prison today, and she received a 5-year ban from running for public office, effectively disqualifying her from the presidential election. Now, I was looking into this and, chat GPT lawyer type stuff, because law isn't my speciality. And it says that usually in France, if something like this happens, there's an appeal process, and you can appeal for up to a certain amount of time, and you can do this, you can do that. But it says in this case that the court has decided that there won't be all of these different appeals. That's usually the case, and that it's obvious. I think it's obvious to you, obvious to me what's going on here. So let me just read out. I've taken the key snippet from all of the reporting there. So a judge has ruled, and here's the key word, a judge has ruled that she's ineligible now to run for the Prime Minister, along with 8 other MEPs. So this is members of the European Parliament, and that's the key word. It's the European Union, yet again, is behind all of this. I mean, let's just break it down simply before we go into this more detail. Who is really in control of countries in Europe? Is it each country and the voters? No, of course not. It's the EU, it's the European Union, it's the leaders who... It's so funny. Don't ever get into an argument with them. You know how on AI, on your apps now, you can press the voice thing. Every time I just go, why did I even bother having this conversation with this AI? Because it's so clueless. And I even try to point out its own flaws by saying, everything you're saying to me is just super liberal left-leaning. Are you aware of that? And it says, no, I'm taking all of my sources from right across the media. And I said, yeah, but when 80-90% of the media is owned and controlled and it's left-leaning, don't you think that plays a part? And it says, it's like massive delay, and then no, I don't think so, because it's like, okay, forget it. But the point of the matter is, the EU is in control. They're in control of all of this. Why do you think it happened in Romania, where they blocked him from becoming president because he didn't align? They called him a far-right extremist, and that he couldn't be, the leader of Romania. But I want to get into some of the craziness of this story anyway. So it was 8 other MEPs from her National Rally Party. Actually, they call it the far-right extremist National Rally Party, but we don't use those words because this is just rhetoric. It's propaganda. Yes, they're on the right, but are they far-right extremists? No, of course not. It's ridiculous. So they were found guilty of misappropriation of EU funds. Now, okay, so let's say that is correct. Right, let's just say there's no argument, there was a misappropriation of EU funds, which is an offence. Okay, fine. Now, what I did then is I looked at 2 or 3 things. Number 1 was the polling. And you would not even believe the polling. And actually, I think I've grabbed it for you here. And I just need to pull it up. Give me 1 second. Yeah, here we go. I've got the polling for you here. Now this is the polling. She was so far ahead, which is this column here. She was so far ahead, my face is covering it, to everybody else. There's no one else even close. Some of these people, 1%, 2%. She has anywhere up to 37%. I mean, it's right across the board. All the polls have her in the lead. So there's no doubt about it. It was obviously political. And they've used judges to stop her and now to put her in prison. And by the way, just a quick note before we continue on, because I want to show you the corruption that actually has been uncovered here. So there are a couple of things then. I've got my new programs that are out now, so you can actually, where are they? So there's credit hacks and there's debt annihilation. So I've been looking to build these. I've been building these for a while, so you can get both of those programs. Link is in the description below. The credit hacks is $67. The debt annihilation is only $34 for these programs. Very, very low. Or you can get both of them for $97. So super, super low cost. I built these programs really to help you out at the moment because I know some people are struggling. Some people want to help with their credit and then to prepare you for some of the other courses that are coming soon. So those are the courses coming out then, and you can find those below. Now let's get into the real corruption here, because this is what really got me. So in France, the National Rally Party, led by Marine Le Pen, was found guilty of diverting over 4 million euros. Now, this is back to 2004, okay? So this is to 2004. There's actually investigations going on, and they've been going on for quite a long, so let me take this off the screen now. They've been going on for a long time here, these investigations. There's hundreds of MEPs under investigation, hundreds of them. But the one that surprised me the most when I started digging into it, it's not difficult. You take the Prime Minister of France, you also take the other person who is on the left, who the EU would love to be in control. You put those in with the keywords, and guess what? They both had done the same thing. They had both done the same thing. Francois Bayrou is his name, the current Prime Minister, because everyone just thinks of Macron. He's not the Prime Minister, by the way. He was also prosecuted for the same thing, abuses of party funding. The only difference is he actually did it, whereas Le Pen said, I wasn't even part of this back then in 2004. So this is what surprises. I think, of course, you'll never see any of this on the BBC or anywhere else. But yeah, the current Prime Minister of France, he was prosecuted over this, and he walked out of court smiling, and he had no charge against him. So nothing at all. Same with the other guy. Nothing at all, no charges against him. But all of a sudden, Le Pen from 2004, and almost every single one of her party, they've got these prison sentences and everything else. It said the scheme involved 25 party members, including 9 former MEPs and their assistant. Although Le Pen was not the leader at this time, she is the leader of the party now. That's what the statement says. Huh? Sorry, wait. So she wasn't involved in it at the time, but she's the party leader now, and they're saying she was involved, but she wasn't involved. They can't even get this story straight. But yet the current Prime Minister and the front runner that the EU want to put in were involved, did do it, and they got no charges. Now, even though I've just stated these facts, I guarantee you people are going to say something now like, I'm the crazy one, I'm a right-winger or whatever. This is just, look it up, ladies and gents. Look this stuff up. You'll find it quite easily. Yeah, so the misuse of the EU Parliament funds was intended for assistance, and it's been a recurring issue for over 20 years. It's said that a 2023 investigation revealed that over 140 MEPs had misallocated such funds. Between 2019 and 2022, 108 reimbursed some of the money. So where's all the prosecutions? Where's these prison sentences for all of these people? And yet all of a sudden, and look, I have no affiliation to Le Pen. I'm not French. I don't live in France. I have no intention of living in France. But the point is, can you see the craziness of what's going on here? People can't see it. I mentioned it to someone earlier that I was going to talk about this. They couldn't see it. They were like, I don't understand. What do you mean? Well, she's got a prison. Obviously, she's guilty. Yeah, I said, and they said they just couldn't get it. That they really couldn't get it. It's wild what's going on. Now, I want to tell you two more stories of what's going on in Europe. So that was France. Let's move to the UK then. Police arrest the parents who complained about a 9-year-old daughter's primary school in a WhatsApp group. This again is not a joke. You can look this up. It was a Telegraph article. The parents were detained in front of their young daughter, 3-year-old daughter, by 6 police officers and thrown into a police cell for 11 hours under intense questioning. They were questioned on suspicion of harassment, malicious communication, and causing a nuisance. Now, this reminds me of those officers from Essex Police. If you remember Alison Pearson, the Telegraph columnist, this happened to her on Remembrance Day, so back in November here. And she was also being investigated over hatred. Even though she posted it and deleted it right away, they somehow said that we don't know. But let's actually get into this then. It said that the school complained about Mr. Allen and his partner sending emails and making comments on a parents' group. The couple were previously banned from entering the school after questioning the appointment process for a head teacher. Mr. Allen, he's 50, he's a producer for the Times Radio, said they were blocked from attending the school. They couldn't go to parents' evening or anything for their daughter. And he said, yet we've never been told what these communications were that were supposedly criminal. Now, the case has actually been dropped now and the police found no evidence, but they've gone through hell for months and months over this, with just constant police bombardment, harassment, being thrown in the cells and questioning. And there isn't even any evidence. And you start looking through actually what was said. All they did was criticize the recruitment process of the head teacher, which is the principal if you're watching from outside the UK. The school was upset and offended by the comments that he was making. So they asked, asked Hertfordshire Police to investigate it. A police officer issued a warning to the family and ordered them to take their daughter out of the school, which they did the following month. Yet despite doing so, a week later they were still arrested. They spent 11 hours in Stevenage Police Station. Ladies and gents, what on earth is going on? So there's France, that was the UK, and let's go to Ireland. This is a story from 2 days ago in Ireland. So we all know about Enoch Burke. I've talked about him a lot, so I won't go into all again right now. But yet again, what has happened is another level, because he continues to refuse to pay fines, which are bogus fines. Again, it depends how you look at that, because some people will say, well, they weren't bogus because the court imposed them. Okay, fine. For argument's sake, I'll agree with that statement and say, yes, the court imposed them, so they're not bogus. They are legal fines. I think they were bogus in the first place, but either way, it's each to their own. So he refused to pay it. So guess what they did? The court, and this is where you got to be careful with these CBDCs coming down the line, the court went to his bank account and withdrew the 40,617 euros and 69 cents. These were his life savings in his bank account that he had worked for his whole career as a teacher, and they took it all. So his bank balance is zero. Not only that, this is where it gets worse. They're now looking to repossess all of his, like his home, vehicle, things like that. They are now looking to repossess all of these things in a quick succession. You know what? If you need a house taken back from some squatters or something, or people who have gone into your house and they've never paid you for a year, Good luck trying to get the court and the bailiffs to get those people out. But no, this guy makes some comments that the government doesn't like, and they enforce it with the courts. And guess what happens? He gets put in prison, loses his job. He'll never be able to teach again. And then now they take his bank account. So there's zero. He's got nothing. He's destitute. And now they're going after his home and his car. Look, regardless of what you think of him, I know he's a little, he's a little bit, let's just call him kooky. I think that's the best way to describe him. But he's principled. That's what I like about him. He's principled, and he won't back down from his faith and his values. Okay, so again, regardless what you think about him and that, he is principled, and he's not backing down from something that is already changed now in the US. I mean, it's not, you don't even see this in the US, so it's changed, but yet in Europe we're still seeing these things. It is, and again, this all originated because he refused to use pronouns. Just so you know, that's the whole basis of it. He refused to use pronouns, and this is the result of it. I mean, it is absolutely, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. And I think that's all I'll say on it. If you haven't had a look at those programs yet, please do so. They're in the description below and also on the pinned comment. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. Please drop a comment. I will read the comments. I just think every day Europe is getting worse and worse and worse, and it's the EU. They are the ones that are tightening the grip on all this, because they are they're not unbiased. You listen, people who say that they're unbiased, they're not right, they're not left. Are you mad? How can anyone say they're not on the look? I know a lot of you who watch my channel, most of you on the right, a lot of you are on the left. It doesn't matter to me, okay? This is the point. What I'm saying is that when you get the weaponization of the political process via judges and other things, this is where we've got a big problem. It's got to be sorted out. You can't have this. It's just, it's unfair would be an understatement. But thanks so much for watching today. Really appreciate you. Take care. God bless you and your families, and I'll see you on the next video.